What this video is going to be about is just how I navigate staying carnivore, being dedicated to the carnivore diet during the holidays, during like family events and social gatherings and things like that. Because one of the things I see that comes up a lot is how difficult it is to stay dedicated to the carnivore diet when you're in a social setting, like if you go out to eat or if you have a family dinner or something like that. There's people that will ask you questions like, why aren't you eating other foods? And why are you eating just meat? So I think for a lot of people, it just seems kind of weird for somebody to just eat meat and nothing else. You know, we're so used to seeing people eat all these different kinds of foods. And that's been normalized. Like to eat processed food, to eat all these different things is just normal for most people. And to see somebody eat just meat or meat and fat or, you know, just everything except all the other stuff, it's just kind of weird to see that. So that's what this video is going to be about. So it's Mother's Day. I'm actually hosting Mother's Day at my house today. I've got family coming up. We're going to cook some food. We're going to sit around the table. We're going to eat. And we're going to have a good time. And you know, this is something for me, it just kind of comes naturally. Everybody's used to seeing me eat meat by now, so it's not a big deal. But I know, like I said, for a lot of people, it can be kind of awkward. So I just want to go over what I do, like how I approach social situations, what I say to people when they ask about this stuff, and just kind of show you that it doesn't really have to be awkward. And with me hosting Mother's Day at my house, I'm actually cooking quite a few different kinds of foods. I mean, we're not going to have just meat here, because I understand that not everybody wants to eat meat and not everybody needs to eat meat. So, you know, I'm cooking all this different stuff. I've got people bringing different foods in as well. And the foods that I'm cooking, though, are foods that I can eat. So I know that by me cooking these foods, you know, these foods are going to make up the base of the meal, I guess you would say. I can eat that. And then all the other stuff, I don't really have to eat it. Everybody else can enjoy that. So it's just kind of more for them. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Jacob, and this channel is all about humans and dogs and the foods that bonded us, which is meat. So if that's something that resonates with you, maybe you're a dog owner, maybe you're on carnivore, maybe your dog's carnivore, or maybe you're thinking about trying carnivore for yourself or your dog, then this channel is just for you, because that's what this channel is all about. It's about building a tribe of like-minded people and working on cutting through the lies that we've been told about food and nutrition, and just trying to optimize our health and optimize the health of our dogs. So if that resonates with you, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's build this tribe and reclaim our health. So first and foremost, like I said, it is Mother's Day, and I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. You know, I love my mom to death. She's coming up here later. We're going to grill out. We're going to have some food, and we're just going to kick back and have a good time. So if you're fortunate enough to still have a good relationship with your mom, and if your mom's still around, if your mom's still in your life, then be sure to give her a hug, give her a kiss, and just tell her thank you for raising you. I mean, without moms, we wouldn't be here. So it's very, very important to celebrate that, and I'm very happy to be celebrating that with my family today. And how I'm going to navigate that as a person that's carnivore, and I've been carnivore for 5 years, and I've been eating only meat, like meat, salt, and water for 5 years. I'm going to basically make food that I can eat. Food that I can eat and food that I know I would want to feed my family. Because I'm not going to make food for them that I myself wouldn't eat. I'm not going to eat vegetables, obviously, but if I was going to eat vegetables, you know, it's going to be real vegetables from the earth. It's going to be stuff that's not sprayed with glyphosate, stuff that doesn't have pesticides all over it. So I'm going to opt for like organic stuff. I'm going to opt for the highest quality food that I myself would buy if I was eating that kind of stuff. I'm not going to buy processed food. I'm not going to cook processed food. And a lot of times when I do these social gatherings, because I also have I have parties and stuff over at my house sometimes, and I have social gatherings where friends come over, you know, a lot of times I'll just tell everybody else to bring the sides. I'm like, look, I'm going to buy all the meat. Like, I'm going to buy all the meat. I'll buy like hot dogs, hamburgers. I'll buy the steaks, you know, all this stuff, which is the most expensive thing anyway. So I'm going to buy all that stuff. And for me buying that, I'll just tell everybody else, if you want sides, if there's something you want in particular, it's kind of a potluck. Just bring whatever you want. And that really works out very well because, again, you know, I'm providing all the most expensive stuff. And I'm providing the place to host the event. And really just the place where everybody can gather and have a good time. So by me saying that I'm doing all this, and to have everybody else just bring the sides works out really well, and people are very willing to do that because I'm providing the bulk of the experience and the best part of the food. And most people realize that. Like if you buy meat and stuff, most people realize like that's the best part of the food. And if they want to bring like chips, or if they want to bring, you know, salsa or salad or side dishes or whatever, they're more than willing to do that. And that's exactly what I'm doing today. So I went to my local butcher shop a couple days ago. I'm doing chicken leg quarters on the grill. I'm doing a rack of pork ribs, and I'm also doing like some bratwurst, some hot dogs, and I might throw some hamburgers or something on the grill too. And when you're grilling out and you're eating those kinds of foods, like if you're eating ribs for example, it's really not that much of an awkward thing to just eat a big plate of ribs. I mean, a lot of times if I'm in a social setting and I get questions, I mean, a lot of times I'll just tell them straight up. I'll just be like, look, I'm on a carnivore diet. I only eat meat. I was sick years ago, and this completely transformed my life. That's usually what I'll tell them. And then usually it's just intrigue from there. Like people want to know more about it. And more often than not, people are so intrigued by it, they want to try it out, or they want more information. And we'll end up exchanging contact info, and I'll end up sending them information. And they may actually even try the diet. You know, they may try it because maybe they have something they're dealing with, or maybe they have some weight they want to lose, or just maybe they want to optimize their health and see what it's all about. And I've had many people try this out. And I never push my ideologies on anybody. But if somebody asks about it and somebody is very curious about the diet, I'm going to tell them. I mean, I'm not going to withhold the information. So I never go out of my way to actually like kind of bring it up. But if somebody asks me about it, I'm definitely going to tell them about it, especially if they can benefit from it. But a lot of times, if you're in that kind of setting, and if it becomes kind of awkward and people are just like, well, you need to eat vegetables, or they kind of want to question you, or if they want to push their ideas or the way they think about things, if they want to push that on you, then a lot of times what I'll do is just be like, look, I'm just here for the meat. Like I love ribs, or I love steak, or whatever it is. I'm just here for the meat. That's all I came for. I don't care about that other stuff. And usually that's enough to kind of push past that part of the conversation and move on to something else, to move on to a different topic. And for you to say that you're there just for the meat, because again, like ribs and steak and things, that's something that people love. I mean, most people love that kind of food. And to say that you're there for that, it's pretty accepted by most people. And, you know, they won't think that that's all you eat for your entire life. They just think, okay, well, he's here for the ribs. I don't blame him because it's good stuff, you know? So that's kind of how I approach it if it becomes kind of awkward, if I just don't want to like push the topic or whatever. But there's numerous ways to go about it. You can just say, look, I'm on a low carb diet. I'm trying to like kind of work through some things. You can just be completely honest and just tell them what the heck you're doing, because again, people are very curious about that, and a lot of people want to know more about it. So that's always an option. You can just kind of brush it off and just say, I'm just, just eating meat for today, and then just kind of push it under the rug and just move past it, change the topic. It does not have to become awkward. And I think one of the weirdest things about the modern mindset is that we've become so accepting to eating all these processed foods. You know, instead of eating meat or really any whole food it's stuff we've been eating since the dawn of humankind. Instead of eating that, now we're very acceptant of eating all these frankenfoods, this stuff that we created. Like, you have to have labs and like scientific research and stuff to create these foods. And the fact that that is accepted, and eating meat and eating whole foods and no processed food is somehow weird and villainized, that to me is kind of awkward. So in my opinion, there's never a time where you should feel awkward about eating these foods, because again, it's stuff we've been eating since the dawn of existence, and it's usually stuff that's going to be part of the main meal anyway. And the great thing about social events and most gatherings and most places where you go out to eat, meat is usually the main course. There's usually going to be some kind of meat that is the main course. So there's definitely ways to still go to these social gatherings, not make it awkward, still be able to enjoy the food and enjoy the people without it being a weird situation. And it really just comes down to how you want to approach it. The foods I'm cooking today, I'm cooking some pork ribs, I'm cooking some local chicken that I got from my butcher shop. I'll be doing some bratwurst, some hot dogs, and I might throw some hamburgers on there too. So I'm definitely going to indulge in this chicken because it's local and it's from my local butcher shop. Now, if it was stuff that I bought from the grocery store, I might not eat it because I don't really feel that comfortable with eating grocery store chicken for the most part. I usually try and pick it up from a butcher shop. Now, the great thing is that the chicken I bought on Friday, I got on sale for 89 cents a pound, okay? and that's from a local butcher shop. Again, you usually find the best deals when you buy local, when you buy from your butcher shop, because they're very likely to pass on savings to you, and a lot of them will have specials and sales. In this case, they had a special going on for Mother's Day, so I picked up quite a bit of chicken, and a lot of the chicken I bought is going to go for my dog. But I do eat local chicken occasionally. I used to not eat it at all. Matter of fact, when I got sick, I developed sensitivities to it. But now that I've healed, I can actually tolerate chicken pretty well. And I do like chicken. So as long as it's from a trusted source and I know it's good, high quality chicken, I'm going to eat a little bit of it. So I plan on eating some of the chicken today. Now for the pork ribs, they're actually in the oven right now. I'm putting them on for like 4 hours at 275. I don't usually eat a lot of pork, but I'll probably try these. Now, the reason I probably won't eat a lot of these today is because I did put a dry rub on there and there's quite a bit of seasoning and stuff on them. No sugar, just organic seasonings. But I can tolerate seasonings pretty well, just not in large quantities. So I'll probably try them out just to make sure they're good, which I'm sure they will be, but I'm not gonna like indulge on them. That's not gonna be like the bulk of my meal. The bratwursts I got are from a local farm. I just got those from the farmer's market a couple weeks ago. I just had them in the freezer. I'll probably try one of those too, but I think the bulk of my meal today is gonna be the chicken, and then if I do some hamburgers, I'll probably eat some hamburgers too. So I'm gonna take you in here, show you what I got from a local butcher, and then I actually bought quite a bit. I kind of bought like a bulk quantity, which is what I usually do when I go to my local butcher shop. So I'm gonna package this up, and then I'm going to keep some of it out so I can cook later on the grill. Alright, so here's the haul from my local butcher shop. I got these right here. This is Select New York Strip local beef. I got this on sale for $7.99 a pound. So this is about a little over 4.5 pounds, $36. And then here's all the chicken I got. Again, most of this is going to be for my dog because she eats a lot of chicken leg quarters. These are all chicken leg quarters here. But I caught this for 89 cents a pound. This is usually $1.19 to $1.79 on average from a local butcher. Sometimes I catch it as cheap as like 79 cents a pound. But 89 cents a pound for high quality chicken is really, really good. So I'm gonna probably cook 2 packs of this on the grill today. I might do some seasoning on some of them. The other ones I'm just gonna grill straight on. And the rest of them I'm gonna package up and I'm gonna freeze. So for the New York strip, I doubt I'll cook that today. This is just something I'm gonna throw in the freezer. But the beef I have is also local beef I got from the same butcher shop, and I'll probably end up making some burger patties on the grill as well. Alright, so here's my chicken. This is the unseasoned kind, and then here's my seasoned chicken. And again, I'm gonna grill all this. The only thing I put on here was some pink Himalayan salt, some organic white pepper. White pepper is better than the black pepper in my opinion because black pepper has a lot of oxalates in there. White pepper is not as bad, so I usually opt for that. Got some organic garlic powder, and I put some Denali blend on there. I got this from Alaska. I love this stuff. It has very, very natural ingredients, and it's very clean. I've used it before. I eat it occasionally, and I don't have any negative side effects from it. So pretty good stuff if you're ever in Alaska. I don't know if you can get this online or not, but highly recommend this. But yeah, I'm gonna grill this out, and then here in a little bit we're gonna have a big feast. All right, so I got my grill fired up. I'm just gonna show you what I'm cooking on there. Again, this is all stuff that I myself would eat. So if I'm gonna buy food for my family, it's gonna be stuff that I would consume. So I'm gonna show you what I got, what's going on the grill, and then I'm gonna get to cooking because it's about 1 o'clock, getting a little bit hungry. I've been fasting all morning since dinner about 7 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So it's about time to eat. And I know when everybody gets here, they're gonna be ready too. All right, so I got my brats here. Got these at the farmer's market. This is from a local farm. Now I got these from Whole Foods. These are Teton 100% grass-fed, pasture-raised beef hot dogs. And if you look at the ingredients, it is extremely clean. It's basically grass-fed beef, water, and some seasoning, and that's it. There's nothing crazy in here. No antibiotics, no hormones. I haven't tried these yet, but I'm about to, and I'm assuming they're gonna be extremely good. So I can't wait to try these out. And then I've got some hamburger. This is from a local butcher shop, local beef. This is probably about 80-20 or so, maybe 75-25, somewhere around there. I'm gonna make some patties, grill those up, and then I've got my seasoned chicken, and I've got my unseasoned chicken. So I think the bottom line here is just to always remember that things don't have to be awkward. Like, even though you're in these situations and you're in a social setting and people might think it's kind of weird to eat these kinds of foods. It doesn't really have to be that way. And usually for me, just by simply telling people the truth and telling them what I'm doing, it generally creates a significant amount of intrigue. And people ask about that kind of stuff. And, you know, by telling your story and by telling people what you're doing and why you're doing it, it could actually potentially change somebody's life for the better. Because by sharing knowledge and sharing information, if you're overcoming something, or if you're doing this to lose weight, or if you're doing this to optimize your health, there's a lot of people out there that don't know this is a thing. You know, we think that a lot of people know about this because that's kind of the people we hang out with. That's the people that we surround ourselves with. So it seems like everybody's kind of aware of this way of eating and the positive impacts it can have on your life. But in the grand scheme of things, carnivore and eating healthy in general just isn't really that thought about by most people. So just being transparent with people and telling your story sometimes is the best way to go. And the way I always like to look at this is, I mean, life is really, really short. And when you're old and your days are kind of numbered and you're looking back at your life, you're not going to be thinking about the time you had dinner with your friends or family and the awkward conversation you had about eating only meat. You're just not going to think about that kind of stuff. And in the grand scheme of things, you know, a lot of these situations we think are so awkward and we're just so uncomfortable. And really, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just any kind of situation that makes you feel uncomfortable. In the grand scheme of things, that is a blip on the radar. I mean, it's something that most people are going to forget in a couple days' time anyway, because they have their own lives and their own problems to worry about. But again, in the grand scheme of things, it's the last thing you should be concerned with. We should not care about what people think about us, what people think about the decisions we make, especially when it comes to food. Because food has become one of these topics where we've accepted all this processed food and we've grown to normalize that kind of stuff. And like I said earlier, eating meat is something we've been doing for thousands of years. So to demonize that and to make that weird, that in itself is just wrong. We have to make decisions and we have to do things to optimize our health in the ways that we see fit. And we have to make these decisions based off our beliefs and not worry about what other people think about that, because it's your life. You get one shot at it. There's no do-overs. So we have to do the things that are best for us and not worry about what other people think. So I really hope this helped, and I hope this allows you to kind of look at these situations with a new perspective. One that makes you more comfortable in social settings and allows you to still be able to enjoy yourself and enjoy the foods that you want to eat without fear of judgment from other people. So my family should be here any minute, so I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, but I hope this provided you with some value. I hope this resonated with you, and if it did, feel free to like, subscribe, join the Apex Tribe, and I'll see you on the next one.